Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now. Lesbian Detectives. Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message. I present to you the Lesbian Detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we're here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Happy Halloween, guys. We are finally here at the episode that I have been waiting for the longest time. I'm so excited. Hopefully you guys have never heard this case before. I want to bring you a new case to think of.
Nice.
I'm so excited. This Halloween has been an amazing Halloween. Guys, if you don't know, we went as Cosmo and Wanda, and my daughter went as Timmy Turner for Halloween. My wife is actually going as Buzz Bunny and her friend going as Lola.
Yes, we have a twins event at work, so we decided to dress up as twins.
I don't have one at work because I work at home, so...
You can do the one with Sienna.
I probably do one with Sienna. Well, Sienna does it. Well, Sienna has been like 3 different people this Halloween. She has been a ballerina with her best friend. She has been Timmy Turner, and now she's going as Bluey. Mm-hmm. I think she's more excited about Bluey than anybody else.
Yeah.
She really want to go as Encanto. She want to go as Maribel. Mm-hmm. I didn't know she want to go as Maribel, guys, until like we went to the Halloween place to get a costume, and I already got her costume weeks ahead of time. And she like, I want this one. I'm like, girl, I already bought your costume.
Right.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. All of us remember as kids when our parents tell us only go to houses of people we know, that they would check the candy because someone would poison them. Because there's crazy people out there that we just can't trust. But what if I tell you that you also can't trust your friends or family? Do you ever know why your parents told you that? Well, I'm about to tell you the case of the Candyman.
Oh, is it related to the movie, The Candyman?
What's the movie? I never know the movie.
I don't know. I've never watched it, but I know that there's a movie called Candyman in it.
I don't know. I never
We'll
watched the
have
movie.
to go back and research it.
Yeah, I have.
But you know, the funny thing about it is my mom never told us to go with people that we knew. She would always just be like, oh, let me check your candy. Or if it was open, she'd be like, no, throw that away. But no,
it's not the same. No. I just Googled the info about the movie. Ronald Clark O'Bryan was born on October the 19th, 1944 in Houston, Texas. We don't have a lot of information about his background. Ronald lived with his wife, Diane, and his 2 children, Timothy A. and Elizabeth 5. They live in Deer Park, Texas, a middle-class suburb of Houston.
okay.
He worked as an eye doctor. He also served as a deacon at his Baptist church where he sang in the choir. He also drove the bus for the church.
Wow. Very hands-on, committed for the community.
Right.
Okay.
Those who knew O'Brien considered him as a model citizen. One pastor described O'Brien as a good Christian man and a above-average father.
But you know what? Those are the ones that you have to watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
It's always people that always try and go above and beyond that they're hiding something. At least in my opinion, from what I've seen. Sorry.
In reality, O'Brien, he had a problem holding down a job. He was employed by 21 different companies for over a 10-year period and fired from each one of them for neglect or fraud behavior.
Oh,
It
goodness.
went downhill fast.
Yeah.
Brian was on the brink of being fired again from his employer, Texas State Optical, suspending him of stealing money.
Jeez.
His take-home salaries of $150 a week. It barely covered the food and rent. He discovered he was more than $100,000 in debt.
Wow, earning $150 a week.
He defaulted on several bank loans, and his car was on the verge of being repossessed. On October the 31st, 1974, it began like any other Halloween night. Although O'Bryan had never shown a real interest in Halloween before, this year he was super eager to take his children trick-or-treating.
There was a motive behind it.
Jim Bates, a family friend, and his 2 children joined the O'Bryan family for the evening. At one house, the children went to knock, but they received no response. O'Bryan remained behind the group. After a minute or so, he caught up with them holding 5 giant pixie sticks, a sweet and sour powdered candy that came in a scroll-like tube, claiming that the neighbor was actually at home and he just handed out the candy.
Okay.
When they arrived back at the Bates house, O'Bryan gave each of the 4 children one candy and then handed the other one to a random trick-or-treater. Before bed, O'Bryan told his children that they could have one piece of candy. Timothy decided to eat the pixie stick. O'Bryan helped his son, Timothy, open the candy tube. And the young boy, he complained that the candy tastes bitter. So O'Bryan gave him some Kool-Aid to help it wash down. O'Bryan said, "At 30 seconds after I left Tim's room, I heard him cry to me, 'Daddy, Daddy, my stomach hurt.'" O'Bryan later told police. He was in the bathroom vomiting and gasping, and then suddenly he went limp. Timothy died en route to the hospital less than an hour after eating the candy. When Timothy's body was brought into the morgue, the medical examiner recalled the scent of almond coming from his mouth.
Almond?
Mm-hmm.
Like the nut?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a telltale of poison. When somebody have that smell, that means it was poison.
Oh.
You never knew that?
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, true crime to you, everything. An autopsy later confirmed that Timothy had consumed enough potassium cyanide to kill 2 or 3 grown men.
Wow.
Police were able to recover the other 4 pixie sticks, and they all was untouched. I mean, that's a blessing that the other kids did not touch it. I mean, seriously? Like,
How did they come to the conclusion so fast that it was the pixie sticks?
because the dad probably said, like, that was the only thing that he ate before.
But he's the one that did it. Like, what
Yeah. I mean, he thought he would get away with it. Let's just be honest. He had a plan. Nobody, like, the dad said that he got it from somebody. So everybody believed him. So nobody was thinking, like, oh, the dad was poisoning him. They're like, oh, we got to figure out where these kids get the other pixie sticks from.
Right. But the thing about it is, I wouldn't say what the last thing was if I already know what the last thing was.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the dad, he seemed like a charmer. He thought he just can charm his way. Because everybody didn't know the real him. Let's be honest.
No, which I understand. But I'm saying, like, say I kill somebody, I wouldn't give them the knife that I killed them with. I would bury that. You know, I would destroy that. I wouldn't give that evidence up.
But we don't know if it's the dad because you also know his wife was there too. So the wife would say, like, yeah, he ate this. So they never went in detail who gave the police this information. Because if it was me, I would never do that. Never, never, never.
Right.
But I wouldn't tell the police, like, hey, like, I gave my child this. But they probably could have saw what was in his system too, though.
I mean, there's so much sugar.
Yeah.
It could have been anything.
Because he told, like, I mean,
I don't know. I just
it's like I can't tell the rest of the story, so it's like I can't come in. Someone had replaced the top 2 inches with cyanide.
Wow.
Timothy murder uproar the community, with numerous parents bringing their children Halloween candy to the police station in fear that someone had poisoned them too. It seemed as if a stranger had been handing out poison candy with the sole intention of killing as many children as possible.
Wow.
This was initially believed by the police, but it did not take long for the suspicions to fall upon O'Bryan.
What is the motive for somebody doing something so...
Life insurance plan. He was broke.
Yeah, but why do you have to affect other kids?
I feel like in his plan was if he gave it to other kids, it would not be on him. Because if he just poisoned his kids, the police would look at him immediately, him or his wife. But if he gave it to other kids, it's like, oh, many kids was poisoned, so it couldn't be him.
I'm not condoning any of his behavior, but I feel like if it was an insurance plan that he wanted paid out to him, he could have done it a different way where it didn't affect other kids. Like, it's already bad enough that he's trying to end his own kid's life, but it's like, why end other kids' life just in vain like that? I don't know. I don't understand. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around it, but I don't understand.
We never understand that what people do though. Like
Right.
this makes no sense, but somebody who did the murder, like it make completely sense to them.
Yeah.
You can't reasonable with people that kill people. You can't. It's no possibility.
Yeah.
O'Bryan, he could not remember what house it was, but they only visit a couple of houses before it started raining.
Oh, okay.
To top it all off, the owner of the house whom O'Bryan claimed to have given him the candy, he wasn't even home that day. It eventually turned out that O'Bryan was over $100,000 in debt, that he had taken out a $10,000 life insurance policy for his children months before. In fact, he kept taking out life insurance policy on them, bringing the total up to $60,000.
$60,000, it does not make up for my child's life.
Right. Like, if you're going to kill me, it's going to be honest. If you're going to kill me, please do like $1 million or $2 million at least.
No,
I mean, I'm just saying. Like,
the thing about it is money comes and goes. Like, what are they going to do? You don't own anything. You lost everything. File for bankruptcy. Start all over again. I'm sorry. You don't have to pay that $100,000. Like, you can start again. I'm not going to take my kid's life for $100,000 that I owe some bank.
but you have to think about him. How many jobs that he lost stealing money and stuff? He wasn't thinking smart. He seemed like a con man. Like, everybody saw a picture of him, what he wanted them to believe.
Then what it is, like, money was more important to him than his own kid's life.
Yes, it seemed like it. O'Bryan had written down the amount of each of his bills. The total amount came to the amount that he received from the life insurance plan. So he really had it planned out in his head. As police dug deeper, they also learned that O'Bryan had incurred within several chemical companies on whether to buy cyanides and jokingly asked them how much would it be to kill a person.
Wow. And see, that's the thing that I was going to say. Did they look into how he got the substance? Like, not everybody goes and buys potassium cyanide.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if back then there wasn't like any regulation.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody could just buy anything.
It seemed like it. Can I buy any cyanide? I don't really care.
Wouldn't want you to know.
I mean, I'm just asking. Like, is it just easy?
What you want it for?
I'm not finna Google this because I'm like, police knocking at my door like, hey. I'm like, I'm doing a podcast. This is why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I don't have time for that.
They found a pocket knife in O'Bryan's home, which had some of the candy on it, and the police thought that he actually tried the candy to see if it's contaminated. I mean, why would you try it, though? I'd be scared if I try, I'm going to kill myself.
Right.
Although O'Bryan played the part of the grieving father to remain his innocence, after failing a polygraph test, he was arrested. On November the 5th, 1974, he was charged with Timothy murder. During his trial, UPI, the United Press International, the prosecutor said that O'Bryan was motivated by the life insurance plan that he had taken out on his children. O'Bryan maintained his innocence through the whole trial. Evidence against him was too overwhelming to ignore. He had shown an unusual interest in cyanide, asking whether he could purchase some or how much would he need to kill somebody. Meanwhile, his defense relied on the decade-old urban legend of strangers handing out Halloween candy that was laced with deadly material.
How did he know that potassium cyanide would kill somebody?
Well, he kept asking people.
No, but how did he know? So clearly this was before Google, before the internet.
Mm-hmm.
How did he know that potassium cyanide killed somebody?
I mean, I knew, but I don't know. You got to ask him what he... dead. So
That's what I'm saying. But like, you would think that he would gather that information from where he knew that potassium cyanide could kill somebody.
but Brian's days of fooling people was over. On June 3rd, 1975, at less than an hour of deliberation, he was found guilty of his son's death and 4 counts of attempted murder. He was actually sentenced to death.
As he should. He sentenced his own son to death. Yeah, he should be put to death.
After being found guilty, O'Brien appealed his case multiple times.
Denied.
Twice to the Supreme Court.
Denied.
Go, let me get it out.
It makes me so mad. He wants to seek justice for himself, but he didn't think about that whenever he killed his own son for monetary gain.
Not long after he was convicted, his wife divorced him. While on death row, he was despised by the fellow inmate for killing his own son.
Yeah. They have a special place in hell and in prison for people like him.
After his last denied appeal, O'Brien was executed by lethal injection on March 31st, 1984 at the Texas State Penitentiary of Huntsville.
And justice was served. Even though they can't bring back his son.
What is about to transpire in a few moments is wrong. I will forgive all of you for taking a part in my death, O'Brien's last words read. But the crazy thing about it, outside, people was like saying trick or treat, like like calling him out, like being funny about it. But before we end this case, let's remember the little boy that died. Timothy was just 8 years old. He was going trick-or-treating with his friends and family. But his life was cut too soon by his own father. Timothy, he trusts his father. When he said it tasted nasty, his father just gave him a Kool-Aid. When he was in pain and dying, he was calling his father. He was saying, "Daddy, Daddy." That's the saddest part because he believed that his dad was his hero, his savior. But actually, his father was his murderer. And that is the case of the Candyman. So we might do a little different today. We cannot do our theories because it's a solved case. But we probably would do something instead called our opinion on this case. So let's get into some opinions. I feel like you want to go first, so go ahead.
I'm just very upset. Like, I cannot wrap my head around this. There's other ways to get money. And the fact of it was that he wasn't even getting that much money.
He really wasn't.
You know, and to take your own children's lives, to me, it's just,
Sickening.
Yes, it really is. Like, he had a better chance of going and robbing a bank, I feel, and getting probably more money. But it wasn't going to cost his son's life.
Correctly. And the crazy thing about it, he wasn't smart to me at all. The reason why I say that because he lost so many jobs for just stealing their money. And they figured it out.
Yes, he got caught 20-something times. Why do you think you weren't going to get caught with this one?
This is your child. Like, I could never do that. I mean, I know some sick people out there could do it. But I feel like a lot of people, cases that get solved by, like, their family member murder them, it's solved by, like, life insurance people. Because they're like, this don't seem right. They are the ones that really look into it because they would not give you the money.
Because they see it time and time and time and time again. So to them, they recognize those patterns. Sometimes they can prove it. Sometimes they can't.
And why I chose this case is because my mom used to tell me that all the time. We stopped trick-or-treating when I was like young. I don't remember the exact age. I'd be like 7 or 8. And it's because of those times. But also, some are real. People do it. It's like, not like, oh, the Candyman, he did it to his son. But there's other stories of people actually getting poisoned. Or with ours, back when I was like young, we had a man giving out apples, but it was a razor inside of it. So when you bite it, the razor would just cut your tongue. It was bad. Like, we couldn't, like, a lot of parents, like, cut out Halloween where I was from.
Wow.
I think that's when my mom probably stopped giving trick-or-treating. And I was mad because, like, I used to see, like, little kids running around. I was like, oh, I want to go. And I was that parent. And you remember, I was like, oh, I'm not letting our daughter go trick-or-treating. Now that she's little, I'm like, oh, I want to go trick-or-treating with her. Because I think it's so cute with her costumes. Because she's still young and she doesn't know, like, what she want to be yet.
Right.
Even though she went to Spirit Halloween, was like, I want this costume. But I'm like, no. But I don't know if I will just cut it off at a certain age.
Well, yeah, that depends on her. I mean, for the most part, she goes with us. We inspect the candy, make sure everything's okay. And I think that's why, too, they started doing a lot of the trunk or treats.
At churches.
And at churches or like community events. Like, we went to the police station one by our neighborhood. We went to a church. We went to a pretty famous park that we have here in Dallas. I'm not going to say any names. You always have to inspect your candy. Always watch your surroundings. And limit your kids to the candy that they can have, because you also don't want them to develop any kind of illness.
Or cavities. Like, our daughter, we took her to the trunk or treat and they let the kid pick the candy out. She even got suckers. Like, she's all she wanted was just suckers. And I feel like because she know how to open a sucker, she like, I don't know how to open these. Let me get the sucker. But the crazy thing about this, he didn't care about his kids. I wonder what kind of man he was behind closed doors.
And the thing about it too, like the wife, she stuck by him, but she knew that he was a con artist. He couldn't provide. He was cheating. I'm sure, like trying to cheat the system, not cheating on her. I don't know about that, but he was a con artist.
I feel like we don't know what went behind that closed door, but it seemed like he was so high in the community. And if she did leave him, they would blame her. And we know that not for sure, but we know how the church are. He was a deacon. That's kind of power in the church. And then he was like dealing with the bus too. Come on. He was like in the church that he was a good Christian man. That's one word I cannot stand. I hate when like pastor, like, he was a good Christian man. He was a beloved father, but he killed his son. You don't know what people really are. I feel like people give you the person that they want you to see. And I have happened to me in past that people have given me a vision of the person I want them to be. And then I'm like, something happened. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was them. I feel like you have to really watch who you be friends with and be around. Because Jim went out with his friend trick-or-treated and he was trying to kill his kids too.
Right.
That's how you have to be. For me, you have to be a safety net for your children. You have to, I don't trust somebody with my child. Only 1-2 people. And I'm scared with them sometimes. Because, I mean, my mom and our sister-in-law. But, you don't know what could happen.
Right.
And, like, I don't trust my mom taking her to, like, outside places. Because I'm like, my daughter like to run away. Like, it's hard. This is Lesbian Detective Pro Tips of Halloween.
Check your candy, check your surroundings, go as a group, and trust no one.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you think he should have got the death penalty?
Yes.
Because I know some people don't believe in the death penalty.
I believe the world is a better place because he's not here. He can't kill another one of his kids.
And he never admitted it.
Or
Never.
any other person.
Right.
He can't commit other frauds. I mean, I used to not believe in the death penalty. I was like, God is the only one that gives life and he's the only one that should take it away.
What changed your mind?
People like this.
True crime cases I give you?
Yeah. So I used to not believe in the death penalty, but I feel like if somebody is doing more harm to our community than helping them, and they are an actual threat, like they've taken somebody's life, I think it's just better to end it with them than lose more precious lives.
I have a question. If you were in jail and they gave you life, would you want it life or would you want a death penalty?
I think I would just get it over with.
Same.
Because every day having to live with what you did, and I've watched TV shows. I've never actually been to jail, but I've watched shows, and they give you hell. Like, they can get mad over the smallest things because they don't have a lot of rights. So something as simple as, say, a pen or a notebook or something, like, means the whole world to them because they no longer have other people in place that they really care for. So they care for the smallest kind of more personal things.
Yeah, I'm definitely like, if I committed it, I feel like I just want to not live anymore.
Right.
Like, I'm not doing suicide. No, it's just because I'm there for like the rest of my life. I'm gonna die there anyway. Let's just get it out the way.
Right.
But then like the death penalty, like floor, is just depressing in a way. Like, you just be there for like 23 hours and one. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's just hard, that I was trying to look up what the mom felt about the case. I really couldn't find her. But I wonder if she was, I feel like she was there, but I feel like she probably was so happy that her husband was like, yeah, I'm going to take the kid trick-or-treating. Probably was going to be her taking the kid trick-or-treating. So as a mother in that moment, she's just happy that her husband probably showing care of her kids. Because he probably wasn't. She probably was frustrated with him. He can't hold no job. We barely making it, because she probably know, because $150 a week, he couldn't pay rent or he couldn't barely get groceries. She knew a lot.
And the thing about it too, going back to the death penalty, like, think about it. How much trauma did he leave behind? How is his daughter supposed to trust somebody? The person that she was supposed to trust killed her brother. So like, him being gone, I feel like it's an easier way for them to move on. They don't have to worry about, because he was appealing his cases. He was trying to fight it. They don't have to worry about him coming out of jail, or what he's going to do, or if he's going to try and find them, or if he's going to try and hurt them in any way. I feel like too, maybe that's why the death penalty is sometimes a blessing, because people don't have to keep looking over their shoulder. Like, how many times do you hear, oh yeah, like, say Selena's killer, like, oh, she's coming out, and now everybody's like worried that she's gonna be roaming the streets and somebody else might, get hurt. So it's like with the death penalty, it's kind of like one and done, and everybody can just start the healing process.
Think about that night. I want everybody, I'm sorry to say this, but picture that night. The son is calling, saying, "Daddy, Daddy." The mom is there. The daughter is there. They see him throwing up, foaming, all that stuff. She's on the phone calling 911 because she's trying to save her son's life. And I wonder, in that moment, did the dad was like, oh, sorry for cussing. Oh, beep, I messed up. I wonder that ever crossed his mind that he messed up. No. Because I feel like if you can kind of tell he didn't, because he never said he did it. Never came out. And then to me, if I was Jim, the friends that went trick-or-treating, I'm beating him up. Me, he got to catch his fade. Yes. He got to catch this fade. Let me tell you something. This man got to catch his fade. You try to kill my kid, right, and I'm out here being a friend with you. Our kids going trick-or-treating, and you trying to poison my son or my daughter? Catch his fade. Catch his fade, because we're about to fight. Because you're not about to hurt my daughter or son because you're trying to get life insurance plan for your kids. Right. Catch his fade. Yeah. So it's just sad. Like, think of the mom. And I never really see, like, I've looked up this case. You really never see her, like, you don't hear her talk about it. I just feel like her and her daughter just live a low profile life. Yeah. And I don't blame her for this. I feel like she was probably happy to divorce him. I feel like she didn't want her son to die, per se. But I feel like she was like, freedom, because how do you think her life really was, And the crazy thing about it, he didn't get the life insurance plan. The wife did.
I mean, if he didn't care to hurt his kid to the point where it ends his life, he probably was abusing his wife and his other kids as well. It's just not to that degree.
Yeah, we don't know. Well, my grandma always said, you never know what's going in somebody's home. Like, when it comes out, people like, take sides, but I feel like you shouldn't. You should be like, I don't know what's going on. Like, if you need me there to be support, I'm there. But like, I'm not about to be like, oh, I believe her, or I believe him. I do. But we really don't know. Sometimes, and sometimes it has hurt me, because I believe like the person. Like, I'm always like, if someone said like, hey, they're beating me, or hey, they touched me, I'm always for that. But it has been time where it came out, hasn't been true. So it's like kind of hard to believe, you know?
Yeah. But I do take sides. I can't help it. I'm like, yeah, and she shouldn't have done that.
Right. Guys, I hope you enjoy our Halloween case. This one was a doozy. It made my wife super, super mad. I like cases like this that make you mad because you get really into it. We are Lesbian Detectives. We are on all social medias. We are on all major podcast platforms. We are also on YouTube. Please check us out on YouTube. We love doing this. This is like our favorite time of the day, just talking about true crime cases with you guys. I am so, so happy that you guys are here. Check out our TikTok. We post a lot of clips from our TikToks. Also, I am going to start doing, my wife is too, a 60-second true crime where I talk about a case that we probably recent or solve or missing. I do 60 seconds or probably 3 minutes. It depends. Sometimes it depends on the case. That we would discuss the case. So please check out the TikTok. And my wife, she said she's going to start doing little documentaries a little bit. Talking about little documentaries that you should watch.
Yes. I love to watch documentaries. I'm super into it. I have a lot in mind. Check us out.
I can't wait because she tells me all the documentary shows that I should be watching. I'm like, you know what? Tell our fans that. So please, if you follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, please follow back, comment, tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. If you tell us what you don't like, send it to my email. Send it to the email. Let me cry in peace. Don't let everybody see it. I can't wait to the next episode. This month has been fun. I really, really, really enjoy. My wife enjoy it. It's really a lot of Halloween cases out there that didn't even know about.
Be safe. Like I said, be aware of your surroundings. Go in a group setting if you can. And always check your candy. Don't trust anyone.
We also have case suggestions. Please suggest a case. We actually have a Facebook group. Join a Facebook group. Tell us what you feel. We post every week on the case that we just talked about. Tell us your theories on the case. This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And everybody's a suspect.
Until proven innocent.
And we are signing out. See you in November.
Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it. They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, Lesbian Detectives, Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the Lesbian Detectives.